this, we are probably not actually in the marriage shop.
The good news is that the marriage shop is wherever we are,
Yeah.
except when we take a break.
That's,
And,
that's looking dangerous.
okay.
Hold on. Hey, keep going. Let me handle this.
So we're Mike and Wendy. We're in the marriage shop, but this week we're at the beach, as you might be able to hear. And so tonight we are talking about how important it is to make sure that you take the time to go away to be together. Even if going away is maybe in your backyard or in your family room or in your bedroom where nobody else is but just the two of you. Often we get really busy doing everything, right? Working, teaching. With COVID, everybody was stuck at home and we didn't have opportunities to really like vacation or get away like we're maybe you're used to. And so making the best of what you can do is what we want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
It is so important that you unplug. It's so important that you disconnect from so many things that can pull on or distract from each other and from your marriage.
Yep.
So we are taking some time to get away to be together.
Yeah.
And we try to do this as often as we can, which is not as often as we'd like.
No, and so I think it's important to recognize, because a lot of people have been at home since COVID-19 began. They feel like they've been stuck. You actually don't have to be stuck at home. Select what you do thoughtfully, right? And carefully. So I think we've been out of town twice now, and the last time we were out of town, we were on the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
In a house, just us. That is, that was our ideal existence before COVID-19. So,
True.
So this time we are in an undisclosed location. You didn't disclose the location.
No, I didn't.
We're in an undisclosed location, and you notice we don't have it trained on the environment because some of y'all will be trying to put it together. Ooh, look at the colors. Look at I've been to that place. No, not this time. But we're in a place there's not a lot of people. There are not a lot of crowds, vacation or stuff like that.
Nope.
There's a few locals. It's us in the place that we're staying.
And the birds.
And
apparently.
The birds, right? And Jim, who we just met.
Oh my goodness. And Linda this morning.
So it's pretty awesome. I think the important thing, it's not fancy. It's just right. It's right for us.
Yeah.
And so finding something that's right for you, really, really important. And so that you don't have to be afraid. You just have to be very thoughtful. And it doesn't even matter. Out here, some people are wearing masks, some are not. We get out of that car, go in a place, we rocking the mask. That's how we're doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're not able to do things like that, just being in place for so long, it takes a toll.
Yeah.
And it takes a toll even when you haven't been forced to isolate. So.
Yeah.
So we thought, the time right now, it is not 7 o'clock our normal time. It's another time. And but we just thought, we would chat a little bit anyway, through the power and the magic of technology.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at your comments and we'll be trying to make some time to respond to you real time. I can't make a promise on that.
We will not.
Try.
No, we won't. No, we won't. Forget about it.
But the whole point is you set the conditions. You determine what makes you comfortable, and you get to create what it means for the two of you to get together. Marriage is between two people, and it requires that you take time to work on that thing. It requires that you are actually connecting on a deeper level, and that that you not feel guilty about taking time away from other things. That means, other family members or kids or work or whatever.
Or that project that you promised you were going to do. Hey, put it off another week, whatever. But some things are more important than that project.
Yeah.
Unless you've been told,
Well, yeah, but it helps to get done what you can get done so that you're not distracted while you're trying to get away, because there's nothing worse than planning and taking some time and then the whole time you're distracted because you're worried about something that you didn't get a chance to finish, or
Yeah.
something that's due, or who's going to call, or something like that.
No, I'm talking about, not the do outs that you committed to, and there's a day. I'm talking about like the projects at home. I said I was gonna,
Oh,
I was gonna fix that fireplace. I said I was gonna build a deck. I mean, throw some money at it, get somebody to build it or whatever, but don't put off those small moments that you can take in order to build that deck. I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's, it's important, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: when you were dating, if you dated, even if you only dated for 2 weeks before somebody proposed and then you got married, if you dated during that time that you were dating, you were very intentional and attentive to what you were doing during that time. You were rearranging your schedule to make sure that you had time to not only be ready, but you had time to plan what you were going to do. We've seen articles, I shared with you last week that we have some friends that shared a thing that said, make sure that you continue to date each other. There's so much advice about dating out there. And so it's not so much how much time, effort, and planning you put into it as it is the intention that you put around it. So creating the space wherever you are. So yes, we happen to be blessed enough to kind of put some things on hold, get in the car and just drive. But we drove far.
We drove far.
Just drive
Yeah.
to get away, and that's helpful. But what can you do if you can't do that? If you don't have a few days that you can actually get away? So you've heard us say pitch a tent in your bedroom.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I highly recommend trying that one.
Give
Go on
that
an
one a
adventure.
shot.
Yeah.
It can be like a little cheap raggedy thing too, because it's in your bedroom, so it doesn't have to like withstand hurricane force winds.
Yeah.
Do that.
What else can you do?
You can just decide like, hey, we're just gonna like put our phones over to the side. We're just gonna like do nothing this whole Saturday afternoon or this whole Sunday afternoon. We're just gonna be together. We're gonna like veg and watch movies together, or we're gonna just, hey, let's go get
That's always
some
good.
crabs and eat outside, or let's
Yeah.
go, all kinds of things that we can do. Or like, remember the time we went to the park? What in the world? Did I get bitten? I don't get bit. We went to the park the day the storm came through. Remember that? We just
Yes.
out there.
Yeah,
We're just
yeah.
out hanging out, and then we
Savannah
decided to
Rapids.
go down to the park near the river, and it was very cool. And we looked, and there was this storm coming through,
Yeah.
and so we were like, let's get out of the car and go see what's what's over there. So that was fun.
How close is it? And
Yeah.
we absolutely got caught in that storm. Ended up running back, having to kick my shoes off to run to the truck. We got to the truck. We're sitting inside. It seemed like a hurricane was coming through. A huge tree broke off and just went like
Into the
crashing
river.
into the river.
That's crazy. Just like right there.
It was exciting. And I can tell you that during that time, I wasn't thinking about anything else. It was, and so I think when we talk about taking time for ourselves and time to decompress and kind of regroup, right? And so you hear people talk about renewing and regrouping and reforming and reshaping and doing all these things. We just want to encourage you to reconnect. So how do you guys reconnect? What's your favorite staycation or vacation or vacation? What do you love to do together? And is it something that you can do right where you are?
Yeah. So that's it. That's good. I was just thinking about, and don't make it. A lot of times I ask people, okay, what do you do to get away? What do you do to unwind? Well, I like to go to the Bahamas. Okay. Well,
You can't
how
get
often
to
do
the
you do
Bahamas.
that, right?
Yeah.
And so I like to go to Disney. You got to find ways. It's what I call kind of like these micro, habits. Finding ways in every aspect to pull away. So in a day, how do you step back? Like today, where's your few minutes of just unwinding, right?
Yeah.
Clearing your mind. Every week, what do you do? Every month, every quarter, every year, right? So there should be something along the way at all those increments. It's just how we're designed. We're not designed to grind and go and go and go and grind some more.
Yeah.
You gotta pause, right? It's sometimes you have to go slower in order to move faster, or to be more efficient, to be sharper,
Yeah.
to be ready, to be the best husband or wife that you can be even.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to stop and slow down, because, if you're being told that, you're doing it again, your attitude, your whatever, it's probably true.
Yeah, it might be true because often we're not the first ones to recognize that we're a little bit more irritable or we're being a little short or we're distracted. It's usually the people around you that recognize that first, right? And so it's not just being told that those things are happening. It is, what do you do next?
What do I do? What are the warning signs for me that you see?
Oh, you absolutely get irritable. I mean, you get real irritable. Nobody in the world is understanding you. That's a key indicator. It's like, am I not clear? Is this hard? And then you just kind of you get into this whole thing, and it's like
the whole thing. I don't get into a thing.
Yeah, you get into a thing.
I don't get into it.
You definitely get into a thing.
All right.
I mean, so you become irritable. You become a little short. And then you tend to kind of lose yourself in work, right? You I think commit more hours to being alone and being focused, but being alone. I think that's what happens. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So anybody else out there get irritable, focus more hours being alone, disappear in their work? Anybody? I mean, I feel your pain. I guess we probably wrong though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's hard. I mean, we're human, right? We all have our ways, we have our tendencies, we have the things that we do, and maybe your husband or wife doesn't necessarily enjoy everything that you like to do. So that's another thing, because we talked about before, and maybe we haven't talked about it, but how you find things or spend time to find things that you both enjoy. So first of all, that's our challenge to you. Number one was figure out what it is that you love to do, and then figure out if you can do that wherever you are. That was the first thing. The second thing is find things that you both can do that you both enjoy. But if you find that there's a thing but you both don't enjoy it, for example, he likes to fish. I'm not an angler. But I made a decision that I like to go out. I like to spend time with him. So because I like to spend time with him doesn't necessarily mean that I have to love what he loves. But because I love him, I can be with him while he's doing it. So the challenge becomes, okay, so when we first started, we would go out and he's like, here, let me show you how to do this, or here, and he's really he felt compelled to show me how to do it. And it didn't feel forced. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm just here, right? I'm good. Just let me just be here. So
I'm like, it's fishing. I mean,
yeah.
It's like we here for a purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
but yeah.
No. Well, where we finally settled was that I would go out with him sometimes, and I do. I go out with him sometimes, and I like to take pictures. I love animals. I love nature. So I will take the camera and I will immerse myself in picture taking of all of the things around and pictures of him. I love those. That's kind of fun. I've got some really good shots of him fishing. And we're out there together. So we don't have to be doing exactly the same thing, but we are spending the time together. So I guess you could ask, how much time should you try to spend together?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a very personal, thing for each couple. Like how much time?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but I would simply say that the time that you do spend together, really try to spend it together. I mean, this is for everybody that's listening. This is for us, but a lot of the time we're caught up, like we're in the same place.
Yeah.
But if you kind of step back and you really look at what's happening, we're not together at all.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
The phone has really become, I believe, a real issue in terms of how much actual connection is happening.
Yeah. That's
just real. And so, and a lot of folks get defensive about it, but there's just no question about it. If you really can step back, and really look at what we're doing. And I know a lot of you all, I know that's the case because y'all on Facebook, Instagram all the time. Like if you there on Instagram or Facebook all the time, I mean, I guess the two of y'all could look at your phone screen together, but that's phones. By design, they're made to be very individualized.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
So I just thought of a challenge around that. So a social media challenge. So if you are somebody who is on your phone all the time or on your device all the time, and you're constantly posting, right? Pictures, updates, whatever. I challenge you to tag your spouse in everything that you post.
Okay.
You say, ooh. And what do I mean by that, right? Let them into your world. It's another way to bring them in. And so you might say, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, he's not interested in any kind of DIY 5-minute hack. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that he now knows what I'm interested in, so that at midnight, I'm not showing him 30-second clips of videos of what I've been taking in all day, so he can just say, okay, enough, I've seen enough.
Isn't that like exactly what happened? I think that's exactly what happened.
That's not exactly what happens, but that's why I issued the challenge. So tag your spouse in everything that you post this week and see how that goes for you. The whole idea is that you're bringing each other into each other's space. So is there too much? Is there such thing as being around each other too much?
Again, very individual question. I think given our choice, I think Wendy and I would probably choose to be around each other quite a bit if given our choice. But even in that, there's like you can be in the same room. Sometimes you do need some individual, some separation sometimes.
Yes.
Right? And so again, very individual. If you all are like, rah, get out of my face, yeah, that's probably too much. You probably need some space. That's what I'll say to that.
So here's the last part of this, because I know I started with a 1 and a 2, and so the last part is this should be time that is separate from when you are making love or having sex.
Yeah, because that is its own special time. But this, we're talking time to connect in another way.
Yeah.
Right? In this living life kind of way. Hopefully your sexual connection will take care of itself. As a matter of fact, if that living life together connection is working, then you will probably see like benefits of that in the bedroom, actually, right? I mean, I think it's like a closer, more intimate relationship results in probably a more meaningful like sharing experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are studies, and we can give shouts out to a couple of people, and we will tonight. But there are studies that show that for a woman, stimulating her brain is the best type of foreplay. So
True that.
if you can do things to forge that connection or foster that connection or connect before you're trying to connect physically in your bedroom or wherever you choose to do that, like you said, I think it definitely could be better for both of you.
Yeah, because I think what you don't want is like a physical only connection. Because feeling physically good is fine, but it can be emotionally empty.
Yeah.
And I mean, and some of y'all, I know that you know what I'm talking about. Like there's this sexual experience and it's cool, and then afterwards you're emotionally empty.
Yeah.
And that is not what marriage is supposed to be. That's not what it was designed to be, I'll say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we're not just, again, I want to make the distinction between going away to get together or being intentional about spending time together and we are asking you or challenging you to make that a point aside from when you are connecting physically and romantically and making love. So we could talk about that, and we have talked about that.
Yeah,
and
we
will
did.
talk about that.
We will? No, we're done.
Yeah.
Talk about
that. Like another time. Like that right now.
Oh, okay.
Because that's also important. But this idea of the other types of intimacy and other ways to connect, I mean, how important really is that?
Well, I think it's really important. It's why certain things are kind of taken off. like the painting, the Picasso and the what's the painting joint?
Paint and Sip.
Paint and Sips.
Pablo and Picasso.
Yeah, all that. Whatever. Is that
Pablo
what it's
and
called?
Picasso.
Whatever. But things like that. So their whole deal is to create this experience, right? And so we got. I mean, people have these paintings they created together. There's something about creating experiences together,
Yeah.
and so for us, like you know, one thing I love most about doing stuff with Wendy is just like, no matter what, I know it's going to be this new experience. Like last night, we're coming down the road, and it was just crazy, right? And so.
It was really crazy.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, hey, listen, when you jump the curb and fly off the road and
Lord have mercy.
you live the tale to tale, it's like, that was crazy. It's kind of like,
blessed.
we are blessed. It's kind of, God like allows us to go into some places, probably a lot of times we should not even go.
Yeah.
Thailand is one. Remember the tuk-tuk ride?
Yeah.
The little motorcycle thing?
Yeah.
It was almost over that day. But
It was almost over that day.
it wasn't.
It was almost over in the Dominican Republic.
It was almost over the Dominican Republic, the horseback riding thing,
Yeah.
the snorkeling thing. I mean, there's so many. Yeah.
This close. This close.
But hey, here we are. And so, if you live to tell a tale, experience.
I don't even
So,
know. But
yeah.
I mean, but you know, you guys may not like to travel. You might just like to play cards, or you might like to watch Netflix. We do that too. And you know, we pull each other in. So I'm like, I'm not watching any more series because now I'm tied to the series. And I'm like, if we're gonna watch a series, then I want to watch it all, like binge for 2 days. Can't do that.
That's true. No, can't do that. I mean, she will. I mean, close the shades so the sun doesn't get in the way. I walk in there and I'm like, Wendy, are you in here? I'm over here.
Bring me a snack.
Bring me a. You know, it's
No.
crazy. Nah.
There's some good stuff out there though. So anyway, what is our point? What are we saying? What do we want you to take away from this? We weren't going to be live tonight, and we're not going to be live tonight, but we'll be watching
Well,
just like you.
We're not live right now, basically. That's what she's trying to say.
Because it is important for us to take some time to be together. But the other thing that we realize is that we actually enjoy doing this.
We do. So it requires a bit of discipline to say, hey, you know, we're not going to go on at 7:00.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it today because we said we're going to create something different. We're going to do something different, and so we have to create boundaries.
Yeah. So we created a boundary tonight, but we're just thankful that you guys take some time out of your busy schedules to spend some time with us. We are thankful to God for allowing us to be able to be a blessing to you all, but more than that, we are thankful in the ways that He's allowed us to be blessed by you. And so every week we learn something new. We absolutely learn something new, or new scripture, or just have a new perspective around things. And we just want to thank you, and we appreciate you. But we do enjoy doing this. And so you all are part of our little short vacation.
Yeah. You say what'd you say?
Vacation.
Vacation?
That's what it's called.
Like like BAE?
Yes.
I don't even know why is it necessary to change the name of a getaway? But whatever. Yeah, so vacation. Yep. And so we appreciate you. And actually, you know, the coming weeks, have we got excited, and we're not ones to like tease stuff, but this is big. Oh, the excitement. You want to be around next week and the week after, I think. I think we'll be able to get it done in that time
2
frame.
weeks, yeah.
But wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's about to go to a whole crazy place.
Yeah, so you guys have hung in there with us for a year.
Yeah.
We came up on 1 year in the marriage shop. It's been 3 years since we started going live. Started with Inside Marriage, but here we are. We did a nice little photo shoot. We had fun. And check out at Pamela Williams Photography. And if you have a truck, check out All About Trucks and More, or in autos. All About Trucks and Autos.
Yep.
And then, you know, people send us books all the time for us to read. So we have a couple of books that we're reading. We want to inspire you guys to keep writing because there's some good stuff out there. And, you know, in terms of what we come up with, like content, like somebody asked, how do we know what to talk about? I saw that come up. And I mean, we're just living.
Yeah.
We're just going day to day, and it's just about real marriage, real talk.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like the spirit guides, you know, people ask questions, things happen in the world, but we really try to be sensitive to what God is having us to talk about on a given night. I mean, because there's so many things you could potentially talk about. So, and sometimes what we're going to discuss changes on a dime.
Yeah,
because it's just like, you know what? No, this right here, this we have to discuss this right now.
Yeah.
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 So.
But I read an article last week that said, it was a Harvard study that says 2 minutes of vigorous exercise can give you more than 20 minutes or 2 hours of focus. So just 2 minutes can give you up to 2 hours of focus and increased physical activity.
So
What? Why is that important?
Yeah, at this moment.
It's important at this moment because here's my illustration. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to kind of reboot what you have going on in your marriage. You don't have to go away for a week or 2 weeks. Maybe you just take 15 minutes. That 15 minutes might be exactly what you need in order for you to have 20 days of marital bliss. That's where I'm going with that. Putting in the work.
My whole prime to pump type analogy situation.
Putting in the work.
Putting in a little bit, getting a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Put in a little bit of work. Connect in ways that you haven't. Think about all of those challenges that I launched. We'll check in with you next week to see how and if you made good on those challenges. What else you got?
You're gonna have to remember those challenges because I don't have anything to write with, so
we'll be
I don't
watching.
even know. And so, so I want you all to, whatever that time is you spend, I cannot emphasize it enough. People always say, well, you know, I tried this, I tried that. Okay, take the time. If you're gonna spend time together, take the time to be together. Eliminate the distractions.
Yeah.
Just be. All right. We're gonna spend a few days here. We're gonna just be.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We know Wendy's gonna get in some crazy videos on me though.
That's funny.
It's
Well,
guaranteed.
yeah, but I mean, okay, so let me speak to the people out there who want to plan everything, right? And
Knock
then
it off.
becomes about what you do when you go somewhere.
Knock
it's
it off.
like, oh,
Be
we have
in.
to go on this excursion or that excursion and we have to see dolphins or whatever. Sometimes it's just about not being where you are all the time, right? And that could be mentally, that could be emotionally, and that could be your location. But you don't necessarily have to fill every minute with some type of excursion or event.
Tell them to say that again, because
No.
say it again. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Do you hear the words that are coming out of her mouth? Listen, I know some of you, but some people. Okay, I'm gonna change my tone just a little bit, because I believe for some people it is important to them.
Yeah.
That is their badge of honor. I plan things, right? Exquisitely, detail by detail. How do you release someone from having to control every minute and just letting the minutes happen? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what is most important to you? Is it that you are enjoying your time and that you are enjoying the time that you're spending with the people that you're with? Or is it that everything went perfectly as you planned it? And
Which it never does, by the way. Ever.
Well, sometimes we get all caught up in the plan. And then we get disappointed because the plan is not perfect, or something gets canceled, or somebody gets sick. And I think that we really lose sight of what maybe should be most important, and that is being blessed to be able to spend time with people that you love. Whatever it is that you're doing, even if that's stopping at an antique shop.
Been there.
Yes. Or watching sea turtles. There's a sea turtle nest nearby,
Like,
and it
right?
could hatch at any minute. I am so
Where'd it
excited.
go? Oh, it's like right there.
So excited.
It is the last. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay,
Yes,
too much information.
Too much information.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we gotta go because Wendy is like, she gonna mess around and be like, yeah, this is our address. Hit us up.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for dropping in the marriage shop. I couldn't even get it out. It's the salt water.
All
Thanks
right.
for shopping in the marriage shop. We are. Did I say shopping?
I don't know.
Thanks for stopping. Sometimes you just gotta know when to end it.
That's right. Ain't no shopping here. You come here with your merchandise already intact. This is about, maybe it's about tune-ups and repairs and rebuilding, maybe, but don't come here shopping. Ain't nothing here for you.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. So, find some time to go away to get together, even if that's in your bedroom. That's all we got.
That's all. We'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.